organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, presidential nomination hopeful Rick Perry visited Iowa over the weekend. Find out what he had to say coming up.
And learn why locals flock to a fiddling fest in Iowa City.
And in sports, hear more about the Hawkeyes' thrilling victory over Pittsburgh. Daily Iowan TV starts now. Thanks for tuning in to Daily Iowan TV, your television news, sports, and weather source from the Daily Iowan. I'm John Dedcott.
And I'm Emily Bussey. A recent Supreme Court decision could cost Iowa City $3 million. In late July, a ruling allowed apartment owners looking to reduce taxes to switch the building's designation from an apartment to a co-op in order to pay residential tax rates. Officials said this option of switching from commercial to residential could cost millions of dollars in revenue for every Johnson County entity. County Supervisor Rod Sullivan told the Daily Iowan that Iowa City could be the hardest hit as it receives 45% of property taxes as opposed to the county's 17%. Read tomorrow's Daily Iowan for more on the story. Texas Governor and Iowa caucus contender Rick Perry is calling for deregulation of the financial industry. Perry spoke at the Iowa Credit Union Convention in Des Moines last Friday, addressing the unemployment rate and issues facing small businesses. The governor described federally enforced small business regulations as a vicious circle, but praised credit unions for helping those businesses.
It's not just about credit unions that are going to have to close their doors. That is part of the symptom of a worse disease, in my opinion. And that is because when you're not there to serve the community, there will be small businessmen and women who do not have access to credit, and they, in turn, will not be able to stay in business.
For more on Perry's latest stop in the Hawkeye State, pick up tomorrow's Daily Iowan.
Back on campus, the Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, and Transgender Resource Center hosted an event to foster better communication in the community. Sunday evening's workshop focused on effective communication with a transgendered population called Building Bridges Across All Identities. The UI recently scored well in a Pew survey ranking of LGBT-friendly campuses. The university garnered a 4.5 ranking out of a possible 5. And students looking to become an emergency responder now have a chance to get more real-life experience. The UI EMS Student Interest Group has expanded to include the Johnson County Ambulance Service and ambulance ride-alongs. The group is now working with the Iowa City Fire Department and the UI Police Department to expand the interest areas for students. In the future, group organizers said they hope for the student emergency responders to become a campus resource, and in 5 or 6 years, they aim to have the group be the first responders to all campus emergencies. Johnson County authorities are investigating a fatal crash over the weekend. 19-year-old North Liberty resident Tyler Fetters reportedly died in a car crash at 4 a.m. Saturday morning. According to Iowa City Police, Fetters was driving at a high rate of speed on I Street in Iowa City when he struck a parked car. Fetters is the second teen to die in an automobile accident in Iowa City in recent months. 17-year-old Carolyn Found died from a moped accident in August.
The Iowa Friends of Old Time Music held its Iowa City Fiddlers Picnic this weekend, showcasing a continuous stage show with old-time, bluegrass, Celtic, country, and folk musicians from around the state. Daily Iowan TV's Megan Grody is here with more.
Once a University of Iowa organization, the Iowa Friends of Old Time Music is now a nonprofit whose main purpose is to preserve, promote, and to perform acoustic music.
This is the 41st year Iowa City has put on their annual Fiddlers Picnic, where you can come out and enjoy the likes of folk, bluegrass, and rock and roll. It's made clear that you don't have to be an advanced player to come out to the Iowa City Fairgrounds and enjoy today's events.
This all-day event provides an opportunity for beginning and intermediate players to experience hands-on instruction in folk music. Many professional and semi-professional local performers began their careers on the Fiddlers Picnic stage and continue to perform today.
Fiddlers around Johnson County for hundreds of years, and they started in, 41 years ago, having a picnic. And it was actually a picnic at that time where wives and fiddlers would join together and have sandwiches and play tunes. And they just grew every year.
The Iowa Friends of Old Time Music holds this annual event on the third Sunday of every September. Daily Iowa TV's Megan Grody.
Other sponsored events from the Iowa Friends of Old Time Music organization include a weekly jam session in downtown Iowa City, as well as concerts by both regional and national performers.
And as the weather feels more and more like fall, one local apple orchard is adding another item to its list of seasonal goods. Wilson's Apple Orchard has begun marketing its homemade apple cider vinegar, and the owner says it has to do with the health benefits. Paul Rash said the cider vinegar is a health tonic that can heal anything from indigestion to high blood pressure. Rash said the Apple Orchard, which is open until 7 p.m. through September, is experimenting with its new product. Now, Daily Iowa TV's Scott Jones joins us in the studio for a quick look at your local weather forecast. Scott?
Thanks, guys. It looks like Monday should be pretty nice. In the morning, it'll be 62 degrees and mostly cloudy. The sky will clear up as the day progresses and we'll reach a nice warm high of 75. And in the evening, it'll be clear and the temperature will drop back to 62. Looking at the rest of the week, things will cool down a little in the near future. Highs will be in the mid to upper 60s with pretty clear skies, and the lows shouldn't drop below 50. So keep your jackets handy. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Scott. And now Daily Iowa TV Sports Director Jake Abrams joins us at the desk for a look at Hawkeye sports. That was a pretty thrilling game this weekend.
Yeah, it was unbelievable, and it was a much-needed game for the Hawkeyes after last week's loss to Iowa State. Well, the Hawks were back in black at Kinnick this weekend, and from the start, it looked like it would be anything but historic, but how that would change by the end of the day. Hawks trying to snap back after losing on the road to Iowa State last week. Herky was in the house, the Hawks were back home, and well, so was former UI student Ashton Kutcher. They were all on hand to see a dominant first half by Pittsburgh Panthers. Pitt QB Tino Sansari's pass to Devin Street completes for 66 yards. Pittsburgh gets a touchdown and goes up 7-0. It was all Pittsburgh as Sansari completes another pass to Cameron Sadler. Sansari would pass for 255 yards on the day. But we go to the third quarter. The Pitt flags were waving and the Panther fans were cheering, but Hawk fans aren't giving up as James Vandenberg completes the pass to Keenan Davis, and that would set up a 1-yard touchdown run for Vandenberg, and the Hawks are now only down by 14. Let's go to the fourth quarter. James Vandenberg working quickly to find Keenan Davis in the end zone. Iowa now down by 10. 3 minutes later, Iowa gets the ball back, and James finds Kevante, Martin, Manley in the end zone, and the freshman puts the Hawks within 3. Now there's only 2:51 left in the game. Iowa's going to get the ball back again, and you know what? So will the freshman Kevante Martin Manley. Take a listen. Martin Manley gives the Hawks the 31-27 lead. Now the Hawks don't want a repeat of last week, and the defense knows they can't allow that again. So yeah, it's the big guy, Mike Daniels. He grabs the sack, and he is pumped up. Now Sansari with one last chance to find the end zone, but Micah Hyde is in the right place at the right time. He grabs the interception, and the Hawks win 31-27, setting the biggest comeback in Hawkeye history.
Starts with the effort and, not quitting, and our guys did a great job of that. And, Pittsburgh made it hard on us. Credit to them. They played a good game. They're going to have a good football team, but, they certainly made it tough on us.
The Black and Gold returned to Kinnick Stadium on Saturday to host Louisiana Monroe. And the conditions were not ideal at Grant Field today, but that didn't slow down the number 12 ranked field hockey squad. It was a successful outing once again for Griesbaum's gang, beating Central Michigan 1-0 and dominating Missouri State today at Grant Field with a 10-2 victory, giving them a 7-1 record. The team had most of their offensive momentum in the second half, and head coach Tracy Griesbaum couldn't be more pleased.
Well, obviously we didn't get off to a great start. A little slow to begin with, both yesterday and today, but I think we got contributions from a lot of different players, and not just our forward line, but our midfield and our backfield. Obviously we're pretty offensive-minded today, so very positive.
Both ranked field hockey team move into conference action next weekend, where they will face off with rivals Michigan State and Penn State at Grant Field. And the Iowa women's soccer team remains unbeaten after a 2-2 draw with Illinois on Sunday. The Hawkeyes played through drizzling rain and sent the game into extras against number 23 Illinois. Sophomore Alex Moline headed the ball into the net in the 10th minute to give the Hawkeyes a 1-0 lead. 2 minutes later, freshman Chloe LaClasse rebounded the ball and hit off the crossbar to give Iowa a 2-0 lead. Iowa continued its dominance in the first half after several scoring opportunities, but the Illini defense stopped them from gaining another goal, which led to overtime to result in a 2-2 tie. And although it's the first time the Hawks didn't receive a win, Coach Rainey believes that they had many chances to get that W.
I still think for us, for our team right now, what we could have done is we had a couple chances to maybe score that third goal, and we really want to lean on our attackers to go ahead and finish when we have those opportunities.
The Hawkeyes continue play next weekend with a road trip to Indiana on Friday and Purdue on Sunday. And guys, Hawkeye sports are off to a great start so far. The volleyball team has also won 7 straight. They have some very exciting matchups to look forward to this upcoming weekend.
It's been a good start to the year for the Hawks. Thanks, Jake. And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek into Monday's pages of the Daily Iowan. Be sure to read about a writer's workshop novelist reading today. Plus, Daily Iowan Sports features the energy Jordan Bernstein brings to Hawkeye football defense. That's your latest edition of Daily Iowan TV. You can tune in tomorrow at the same time or check us out anytime at dailyiowan.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.